Hello, ladies and gents. Right, let's talk about this. Data Racer on Twitter, who, generally speaking, I think is fine, actually. For the most part, came out and tweeted this as Disney's new female Predator movie is a blatant copy of a 2019 fan film called Warrior Predator. Both are about an indigenous female warrior who fought the Predator 300 years ago. Disney is so lazy, they're literally stealing SJW fan fiction. Now, I've got to come down hard on this, mainly just because it's really, really dumb. For someone with a name like Data Racer, the data that this individual has is minimal on this. This isn't Disney. This was put into pre-production and approved when The Predator was in pre-production. So it's Fox, 20th Century Fox. So that's really important, just to straight away. I understand people's mass hatred for Disney. Like, I get it. I rip on them all the time, right? But do it properly. Don't sit there and go, oh, Disney, they're lazy. It's Disney, Disney, Disney. When the information is out there, which indicates that you're wrong. Sorry, that is literally just how it is. Now, the fact of this being a blatant copy, right? So I saw this and I was like, wow, yeah, like that looks like a blatant copy, because it does. Like it does look like a blatant copy, doesn't it? However, I've since watched this film, Warrior Predator. It is awful, by the way. Like, I mean, it is actually terrible, shockingly bad. Like a real bad Predator fan film. Fan films are normally pretty bad, but this is fucking atrocious. And there's going to be nothing. You know, there will be nothing in Prey or Predator 5, whatever, that will be a rip-off of this, bar the setting, the time period. Which, you know, the thing about this, and what people need to bear in mind, and the thing, most of the people jumping in on this sort of hate bandwagon they're not huge Predator fans, so they don't know any of this stuff. But if you go and read the Dark Horse comics, for instance, there's a lot which have been inspired by the Dark Horse comics, which was licensed by Fox to Dark Horse to run Alien and Predator properties. AVP, for instance, has a Machiko Noguchi. It's basically inspired off of, you know, the original AVP comic, Machiko Noguchi getting involved in that, etc. And the AVP film is very loosely, and boy oh boy do I mean loosely, but very, very loosely based on that comic. You're not going to sit there and say that they ripped them off. You just wouldn't, right? Now, this, on the other hand, is slightly different. You know, it is slightly different. But again, the statement from Data Racer is actually really lazy. And there'll be so many people that disagree, but I just don't care. Disney's new female Predator movie is a blatant copy of a 2019 fan film called Warrior Predator. You've not seen the film yet. You can't say it's a copy. Come on. Like, pull your head out your ass. Obviously it's not. You can't sit there and go, oh, it's a blatant copy, when you haven't seen the film. Right? And this Predator fan film's like all of 5 minutes long. It's not super long. But here's the blatant copy part. Both are about an indigenous female warrior who fought the Predator 300 years ago. Is that it? Really? Come on now. Next you're going to say that Predators is a blatant copy of Predator because a bunch of mercenaries or army men fought Predator. It's just lazy. It's like that's the lazy part. And then he has the cheek to go, Disney is so lazy, they're literally stealing SJW fanfiction. No, it wasn't Disney. You're being lazy in your own research. Data Racer, come on, stand up to your name. Data, right? This wasn't Disney. Disney bought Fox. They bought something which was already in pre-production. It would have been greenlit. It was already a go, right? Put in pre-production when The Predator was in pre-production a long time ago, pre any discussions of Disney buying Fox. But the lazy part is saying, well, it's a blatant copy. It's not. Now, just as a quick FYI, you can't have it two ways, right? You can't have it two ways. And I know there'll be a bunch of people that disagree on here as well. And I'm well aware, I'm self-aware enough to know this. You can't sit there and say it's a blatant copy of a fan film while simultaneously bitching and moaning that a female is going to take down the Predator. Because this fan film, the chick in this wins. As in, wins, doesn't kill the Predator, they just go their separate ways. So you can't simultaneously say it's a blatant copy when, one, you haven't seen the film, and two, you also then think that this Predator is going to die by the hands of the woman. Like, it's either a blatant copy or it's not. Or, what they've done is gone, this is a time period. You do realise this time period has been explored before, right? Like, it has been explored in Predator films. Not films, sorry, in like media, in comics. So, I don't know what to tell you. Like, you know, I do genuinely think that a lot of this stuff is like pretty sus, you know. At first I was going to have a male Predator versus a male warrior, but we've seen that like a lot, so I immediately threw that idea out, and since most of my films are female centric, I decided to stick with that angle. My first draft on the script had a female warrior taking on a male Predator, accompanied with the task of finding a good Predator costume. There was no way in hell I was going to be able to make one myself. I wouldn't know where to start. So I did the only sensible thing I could think of. I hit up social media and began the arduous task of looking for professional cosplayers with legit costumes. I stumbled upon a good few Predators, but truth be told, none of them were right fit, personality-wise. And then it hit me. What do all the Predator movies have in common? All the main characters are male. Oh no. The heroes and the Predators. And since I was already doing a female-led story, why the hell not go the distance and have a female Predator? No, 2 female Predators. And so, you know, the thing is, you can sit there and say, I don't know, look, at the end of the day, apparently it was made for like nothing as well, which, you know, kudos to them. You know, it was made for like $500. So that's fine. But to sit there and be like, oh, well, you know, they look the same. It's like, well, you know, they only look the same because it's the same time period. You know, I get it. It does look... It looks sus, but you haven't seen the film, so you can't say it's a blatant copy. They've just done the same time period. You need to get away from this sort of really ignorant stance on things and go, well, they're copying because they've done the same time period. What? Really? 20th Century Fox, 9 times out of 10, are not aware of these fan films anyway. Especially not this one. It had less than 100,000 views. I doubt they would have been aware. And also, just as a quick FYI, this premiered 2019. I'm fairly certain, when did the Predator enter pre-production? Because I don't even think they tie together, actually. The Predator pre-production. So that was in 2018. I can't even remember when it came out. But the Predator being released in 2018. Jesus, 2018. It can't be. That was 2018. Wow. 2018. Anyway, that would have been in pre-production year before that. So no, they didn't. Just completely debunked it straight off there. I should have started the video with this, shouldn't I? So no, they didn't. Anyway. Look, it's just the same time period. Who cares? It's probably going to be a shit film. And look, if it's a copy of this, well, then they're both going to be shit because this film's not very good anyway. So there you go, ladies and gents. There's my thoughts. Loads of people keep tweeting it to me. There's my thoughts. Do a bit of research. Data racer. Prey was put in pre-production, as in being pitched. Getting, you know, people locked down. Dan Trachtenberg was on board. Same time the Predator was. That's pre-2018. This was released 2019. The end of 2019. So no, it's not a copy. Just coincidence. And that just goes to show that most people, studios and fans included, are creatively bankrupt when it comes to the Predator franchise. Loads of people are like, oh, woman's going to beat the Predator. Predators always die. I want them to win, but it's not a surprise if they die. Have you ever seen any of the movies? Like, god damn. Anyway, there you go. I'm not defending the film, FYI, because it's not even been out yet. But that's the point. It's not out yet, so you can't say it's a blatant copy. Slap in the face. Let me know your thoughts down below. Cheers. Take care.